This is some of the footage I took at the Reef Stock 2022 show. I hope you enjoy it. I want to tell you a few things that are coming up in the industry afterwards. This is Majestic's coral they brought. They went dash crazy. It was a phenomenal sight to see. But yeah, we'll have a look at a few other things and enjoy the video. So this is Reef Stock 2022, potentially the last of the Reef Stocks, leaving a big gap in the market for something else to come along, which there appears to be, but we'll talk about that a bit later on. So I made my way to Reef Stock in Sydney for the day on the Saturday, closed up. A few people did the middle finger to the camera at the door because I closed, but we all got past that. We went together, Aaron, Anthea and Pete. All people I've known for a while, a couple of good customers at the time, so we had a great time. I don't remember the flight because I slept and woke up and we were there, and just the amazing range of corals. We were probably there an hour and a half after opening. There was apparently a lot of stuff that went through, so quickly in terms of the gems, but I couldn't stop looking around at new things all the time. But you see things like this, crazy ricks, there's bounce morphs in the, bounce redactus in the back there. Absolute stunning stuff. Not only was it amazing coral, but the camaraderie with the hobbyists was one of the biggest things. Like, people I've probably sent corals to, dealt with over the phone or via text, and I'm meeting them in person. A lot of people must have saw my face on some of the videos, so it was really nice putting faces to names and names to faces, all that kind of thing. But yeah, the coral was absolutely epic. It was just non-stop, and if I didn't tell myself before I went, you're not buying anything, it could have been a lot of trouble and a lot of weight carrying back on the plane. I know the other guys couldn't resist, and I know Anthea and Aaron did pick up some coral. I'm not sure if Pete did or not, but yeah, they did pretty well for themselves. A lot of these vendors, I don't know who they were, just from time lapse. It was a year and a half ago now. I did make a note of some of them, so if you do see your coral on here and I didn't credit you, apologies. It was awesome. A few sticky names there. I don't think I've seen reds before. WA mini maxis. Some of the stuff was just epic because we don't see a lot of Western Australian stuff on the East Coast all the time, so it sort of opened our eyes up to a lot of things that we haven't seen. This is where I obviously were able to credit where I was. Reef to Aquariums, they do some amazing stuff. I think the divers only have eyes for gems there because it's hard to pick out a standard looking piece of coral from these dudes. They do an amazing job. Yeah, button scollies, WA button scollies, one of my favorites. The colors are just never ending in these guys. Some very, very unique acans as well they get on that side of Australia. But yeah, I will talk about more about the camaraderie and just the get together of the hobbyists. It is nothing like it because we are separated by such a vast space. And when we get together, we all get along. We've all got the same interests, the same struggles, the same things going on. So it's really nice to get together every now and again and talk about those things and always learning more. This is Reef Candy, which at the time was they're wholesale and retail. I think the wholesale's now moved over to Queensland, and I think they've got a bit of Queensland corals going on, as well as the Western Australian corals as well. But yeah, they're obviously overloaded with the Wilsonized button scollies. Ocean Reefs is also in WA, so you can see I've obviously pick out corals I don't see a lot of, and yeah, the Western Australian stuff always what catches my eyes. I had a cracker hammer like that maybe 1.5, 2 years ago, which sent out in one piece. It was probably 30 centimeters wide. It was amazing. But yeah, just the different tones of hammers they get over there really catch my eyes. Some nice Zoa frags. Look like they've been like small rocks attached to the frag plugs. and sustainable reefs. By the time I got to the sustainable reef setup, I missed out. Yeah, they got hammered really quickly. Here's Nick's aquarium. He's on the north side of Brisbane, and he had some really nice scollies still left there, surprisingly. I think he did really well with the hammers, because when I went to look at the hammers a couple of times, I think this time I went back and they were all gone. So I missed out on filming some of the nicer hammers. There's a really cool dash there, which I'm surprised wasn't sold at that point. But yeah, I think he'd moved the hammers around a fair few times back to the front, so that's why they were closed up. These clams are absolutely amazing, and these made a run through early last year as well. Not cheap, but yeah, they were absolutely epic clams. We got Galleria Aquatica, a lot of zoas that they do themselves. And they had a lot of water volume and a lot of varieties of corals, well represented, particularly a shop from Brisbane having to travel all the way to Sydney and set up. All credit to them. But yeah, that will bring me to talking about the Fragarama event, which is going to be held on May 25th in Brisbane, on the south side of Brisbane. And being a Fragarama event, it's based on all frags. There's not going to be like a lot of these larger pieces, but the turnout already looks like it's going to be amazing. If you're interstate, if you're local, it's well worth getting your tickets now, because I think it's blowing up expectations of vendor turnout. Especially there's a lot of hobbyists that are going to be vendors there and show off their frags. They've set it up so it's works perfectly whether you're a shop or you've got a few corals and you want to display them. So have a look at the Fragarama Facebook page, the website, get your tickets. If you want to take some corals, you can become a vendor and show your stuff off. Don't delay though, get it organized now. It's definitely going to be worth going to and being a part of. Even if you're a curious hobbyist and you want to turn up and see a whole bunch of weird reef people together, we're rather friendly, so definitely come along. Here we have the guy from Seachem America talk about one of the scrapers.
A sharp stainless steel razor on one side with a piece of the Aqua Vitro felt pad, or if you've got a really low iron or high clarity glass you don't want to use the sharp scraper for, you can take the scraper blade out and use it just with the beveled plastic edge on there too, so you won't scrape up, or if you near silicone corners you don't have to worry about cutting as well. It's all retractable. They're buoyant too, so they'll float. If you knock over something you need to pick it up and you just have it float back up.
Was the blade adjustable?
Yeah, so depending on what side you use, so if you've got the felt pad on it, and do the front one, you can retract it back, and then it'll be a different setting for the razor side too. So if you want to retract it all the way, when the sharp razor's in it, you go up to the third stop. Because it's a double-sided button on it, if sand or anything gets inside, it's not going to get wedged in there and get stuck, so it's easier to pull out.
I have to apologize to Chris from Aqua Premium. I didn't get good footage of their products. I got the Marine Pure, but I missed everything else. My apologies. Art Reef Rock, Dwayne went off. Dwayne and Crystal went absolutely off on the show. It was probably one of the biggest attractions. All the rock building, people were getting in on it and building their own little structures. I think he said he had to build a custom job overnight from the Saturday to the Sunday. And yeah, it was just one of the main attractions. As you know, I love the stuff. It's so easy to do. That one was absolutely epic. Just showing you the absolute limitations of what the product can do there. A nice display stand with all the things on it. We had a look at other products, dry goods around the place. We had the Oz Aquariums with their skimmers and the Reef Factory brand, very nicely displayed. It'd be nice to see it next time on a working aquarium. There's a little challenge for the guys there. They've got a lot of new products since this day, that's for sure. A lot of new products. And then we took a look at Aquariums Australia. They mainly focus on the Octo brand, which was good. It wasn't too confusing, but they really went hard on their skimmers. There's about 255 models, I believe. But yeah, nice looking skimmer, well built. There's a design for everyone's needs, I'd say, in the Octo. And there's a mega size one there. We got some footage at the end of one of them working, bit of nutrients in the water, bit of biological waste, showing that it can pick up stuff. Very nice idea. And then last but not least, kings of the aquariums, Cade. They well represented, looked awesome. But I will end off and mention, yeah, the Fragarama event. Make sure you become a part of it. Make sure you attend. It's going to be absolutely awesome. Hope to see you there. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you, everyone.